And good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to Monday and welcome to Casual Coffee with Ken. My name is Ken, and thank you so much for spending your Monday morning with me. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hope you're all doing well and that you did some fun activities to kind of recharge your batteries for the coming week, because I don't even know what that means anymore, the coming week. There are no For a lot of people, weekends don't mean anything anymore. But regardless, I'm glad you're here and I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, this is a live show where I scour the internet for positive stories to share with you, because you can look for them yourself, but a lot of people don't have time, and so I'm trying to save you some time there by doing it for you. And really, in a lot of instances, these stories that I share don't get a lot of mainstream media coverage on the local and network news stations, so you might not hear of them otherwise. Although the second story today, actually, I'm sure everybody's heard of, but it just involves one of my favorite celebrities, and so I had to rehash it because it's just so good. If you are new here, you can comment, and I do see your comments in the chat window over there on the other screen. And if you do choose to comment, I would love to know where in the world you are watching from, because that's really the appeal of doing a live stream versus just recording a video, is the interaction with you. And you'll have to excuse me, my allergies are freaking going nuts. I mean, this is the time of year where I go outside and my car is covered in yellow pollen. It's just a layer of it. And it's just been driving me crazy. My sinuses are all plugged up. I am practically ODing on Afrin nasal spray. Which makes the fact that I've chosen to do what I'm doing for the second half of today kind of silly, considering how hard it is for me to breathe at the moment. But that's okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's see here. My gosh. All right. First story. As we all know, it's rather hard for medical personnel and ordinary people to supply themselves with masks. And so a lot of people have just jumped in and started sewing their own masks. Well, there's a group of individuals that are taking the idea of creating masks for people, and they're taking it one step further. And basically, by doing that, addressing two problems at the same time. And I think this is really awesome that they thought to do it this way. So a scuba diving group is making face masks out of recycled ocean plastic. This article from CNN goes into a lot of detail about that. But I think most people are familiar with the giant floating garbage island in the ocean that's made up of garbage from humans. So pollution in the oceans is definitely a problem, but this group of scuba divers is using plastic water bottles and basically recycling that material into face masks. And each of these reusable masks costs $20.40 and comes with 5 replacement filters. And the vice president of the group that's doing this, PADI, Professional Association of Diving Instructors, is very keen to let everyone know that they are not making a profit off this at all. Her name is Lisa Nicklin, and she has said that they're basically making these and selling them at cost. So they're just trying to break even. And, let's in a time where a lot of people have found a way to generate a ton of money during the pandemic, and that's fine. Everyone has to make a living somehow, but it's extra special, I think, when a group like this goes out of their way, and they really are going out of their way to do this, uh, and has chosen to not make a profit on it. So you can order the mask, and you can check it out from there. Low on both Facebook and YouTube, but I thought that was a brilliant idea. I'm glad that they have the tools and the resources to. They're available for pre-order. They come in 5 different designs, and it's really cool. They even have one that's made to fit children. So I will post the link to the story, of course, in such a creative and beneficial way. Just taking plastic trash out of the ocean and making it into something worthwhile. My chair is doing weird things today. Stupid chair. It's not the chair's fault. It's the operator's fault. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Sorry. I am all stuffed up. Oh, okay. And the second story is, it involves Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks is awesome. I've always liked Tom Hanks, always liked his body of work, but he's always struck me as probably being a wonderful guy in real life, and he definitely has proven that time and time again. This story is no exception to that. He basically was written to by a young boy named Corona. And this young boy in Australia had written to Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, and asked if they were okay because they were quarantining in Australia. This boy is in Australia, and he heard about it, and he wrote to them asking if they were doing okay. And Tom was very impressed by the letter and decided to write back to him. And so he typed out a letter on a typewriter that he had, and its brand name is Corona. That's the name of the typewriter. And so, as you can see here, he typed out the letter, and he addresses him as Friend Corona. He makes a point of telling the boy, who had, in his letter to Tom Hanks, had mentioned that he was being bullied because of his name being Corona, that the other definition of the name Corona can be the ring around the sun, and it's also known as a crown. So I thought that was really awesome. He was just the nicest guy, and the letter goes on to say that he thought that the boy Corona de Vries would appreciate the typewriter that Tom Hanks had used to type the letter, so that's what he did. He gave Corona de Vries the Corona typewriter that he had written his letter on. And he says at the bottom of the letter, and I'll post, of course, a link to it, but it says, "Ask an adult how to use this, and then use it to write me back." So he wants Corona to write him, and that's just awesome. He made the letter appropriate to the reading level of an 8-year-old, but didn't talk down to him, wasn't condescending to him in the letter. It's just awesome. I love it. I love stories like this, and it's just makes me feel good. So anyway, you've probably already seen that, but I loved it, so I wanted to share it again here with you guys. So for the rest of the show, I'm going to do something a little different. A few weeks back, Neil Gaiman, who is a brilliant novelist and writer, you may know him from the Sandman graphic novels that he wrote. Amazing novels, uh, graphic novels. And he's written American Gods, which was recently turned into a show on Amazon. I believe it's on Amazon. No, that's Good Omens. Sorry, that was Good Omens. But American Gods is on one of the networks, cable networks. I think maybe it was Stars. But anyway, he's good. He's a big deal, and he recently posted on both his personal website and his Twitter account that he was okay with people reading his stories on video to make people excuse me, to make people feel better. So that's what I wanted to do today, is read one of my favorite mini stories from his collection of short works called Trigger Warning. And it's a great book of short stories, and there is a particular section in this book that I really love. And I believe that the title of the chapter itself is called Calendar of Tales. Let's see. Scroll through. Yeah, A Calendar of Tales. That's the name of it. And so basically it's these little vignettes, these little stories, and he goes January through December. And a couple of them are very good, and my favorite in that chapter is December Tale. So I'm going to do my best to read it to you and to not mess it up too bad with my allergies. Because I love this story. Got it on my Nook. So this is December Tale. Summer on the streets is hard, but you can sleep in a park in the summer without dying from the cold. Winter is different. Winter can be lethal. And even if it isn't, the cold still takes you as its special homeless friend, and it insinuates itself into every part of your life. Donna had learned from the old hands. The trick, they told her, is to sleep wherever you can during the day. The Circle Line is good. Buy a ticket and ride all day, snoozing in the carriage. And so are the kinds of cheap cafes where they don't mind an 18-year-old girl spending 50 pence on a cup of tea and then dozing off in a corner for an hour or 3, as long as she looks more or less respectable. But to keep moving at night, when the temperatures plummet and the warm places close their doors and lock them and turn off the lights. It was 9 at night, and Donna was walking. She kept to well-lit areas, and she wasn't ashamed to ask for money. Not anymore. People could always say no, and mostly they did. There was nothing familiar about the woman on the street corner. If there had been, Donna wouldn't have approached her. It was her nightmare, someone from Biddenden seeing her like this. The shame and the fear that they'd tell her mom, who never said much, who only said good riddance when she heard Gran had died. And then her mom would tell her dad, and he might just come down here and look for her and try to bring her home. And that would break her. She didn't ever want to see him again. The woman on the corner had stopped, puzzled, and was looking around as if she was lost. Lost people were sometimes good for change, if you could tell them the way to where they wanted to go. Donna stepped closer and said, "Spare any change?" The woman looked down at her, and then the expression on her face changed, and she looked like... Well, Donna understood the cliché then, understood why people would say, she looked like she had seen a ghost. She did. The woman said, "You?" "Me," said Donna. If she had recognized the woman, she might have backed away. She might even have run off, but she didn't know her. The woman looked a little like Donna's mom, but kinder, softer, plump where Donna's mom was pinched. It was hard to see what she really looked like because she was wearing thick black winter clothes and a thick woolen bobble cap, but her hair beneath the cap was as orange as Donna's own. The woman said, "Donna." Donna would have run then, but she didn't. She stayed where she was because it was just too crazy, too unlikely, too ridiculous for words. The woman said, "Oh God, Donna, you are you, aren't you?" "I remember." Then she stopped. She seemed to be blinking back tears. Donna looked at the woman as an unlikely, ridiculous idea filled her head. And she said, "Are you who I think you are?" The woman nodded. "I'm you," she said. "Or I will be, one day." I was walking this way remembering what it was like back when I was you. When you... Again she stopped. "Listen, it won't be like this for you forever, or even for very long. Just don't do anything stupid. And don't do anything permanent. I promise it will be all right. Like the YouTube videos, you know? It gets better." "What's a YouTube?" asked Donna. "Oh, lovey," said the woman, and she put her arms around Donna and pulled her close and held her tight. "Will you take me home with you?" asked Donna. "I can't," said the woman. "Home isn't there for you yet. You haven't met any of the people who are going to help you get off the street or help you get a job. You haven't met the person who's going to turn out to be your partner. And you'll both make a place that's safe for each other and for your children. Somewhere warm." Donna felt the anger rising inside her. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked. "So you know it gets better. To give you hope." Donna stepped back. "I don't want hope," she said. "I want somewhere warm. I want a home. I want it now, not in 20 years. A hurt expression on the placid face. "It's sooner than 20. I don't care. It's not tonight. I don't have anywhere to go, and I'm cold. Have you got any change?" The woman nodded. "Here," she said. She opened her purse and took out a 20-pound note. Donna took it, but the money didn't look like any currency she was familiar with. She looked back at the woman to ask her something, but she was gone. And when Donna looked back at her hand, so was the money. She stood there shivering. The money was gone if it had ever been there. But she had kept one thing. She knew it would all work out someday, in the end. And she knew that she didn't need to do anything stupid. She didn't have to buy one last underground ticket just to be able to jump down onto the tracks when she saw a train coming, too close to stop. The winter wind was bitter, and it bit her and it cut her to the bone. But still, she spotted something blown up against a shop doorway, and she reached down and picked it up. A 5-pound note. Perhaps tomorrow would be easier. She didn't have to do any of the things she had imagined herself doing. December could be lethal when you are out on the streets, but not this year. Not tonight. I love it. that's that's definitely my favorite story in the book of short stories. It it has that I love. For one, I love time travel stories, but it's hopeful rather than despairing. Uh, Nothing in it really bad happens, and it's just a I don't know. It's a beautiful image in my head when I read it. There's a lot of good short stories in that book, and I will probably end up reading some more of them because there's a few others that I really enjoy. But yeah, I love it. And I will, of course, put the link to the book down below for you in the description so that you can go check it out yourself. You can get it just about everywhere. And yeah, I think if you're into horror type fantasy, fantastical short stories, this is kind of good. It's he writes a lot different than Stephen King, although sometimes in the same genre. But his Neil Gaiman's writing is definitely a lot different than Stephen King's. But it can still be scary, so I'll warn you about that. Click Clack the Rattle Bag. That's a creepy one. It's good. Maybe I'll read that one next. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna just have a short show today, but I want to thank you if you did spend your morning with me today. I appreciate you being here, and I hope everybody's doing well and that you're staying safe. Stay indoors as much as you can. Stay home. And when you do go out, just be careful. Wash your hands a lot. Wear a mask. And we're all going to get through this. It's going to be fine. So, in the meantime, if you had a good time today and you want to do me a favor after the live show ends, this does stay up as a video, share it with your friends if you liked it and let them know that there is an alternative to the regular news that they get in the mornings that's a little different and a lot more positive. So I'd appreciate that. But regardless, I will see everybody back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 Pacific time, right here, wherever here is for you. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, I'm Ken McKim. You take care, and remember, be kind to yourself and to others, because now more than ever, kindness matters. All right. Be well. I'll talk to you tomorrow.